Now that we've got our ground control points brought into pix4d via our differential GPS file, which was formatted as a comma delimited file, now we can actually incorporate these guys into the point cloud itself. And as we see, we've got four blue X's which have been brought in, and down here under tie points, and again we're working in the ray cloud editor. Under tie points, we can highlight one of these guys. So that's number 1, this was number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4. Now if you remember, I'm going to go back to number 1. If you remember, these guys were actually white X's that we put out in the landscape. And so if you zoom out a little bit, you can actually see this is where it thinks it should be based on the GPS in the UAV itself. But if we zoom in here, we can actually see the white X. And so if we zoom way in here and we want to click right in the middle of that white X, as close to the middle as possible, you click in there, and you've now just created this yellow circle and this yellow X. And if you go to another image, and we're going to zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, up, we see that white X. Now we're going to zoom back in, zoom back in, zoom back in, find the very middle of that white X, and click there. And now we've got a blue X and this yellow circle, and the yellow circle is associated with the sort of uncertainty associated with it. And if we say apply, and then we can scroll down, these are all the images which were collected, and we can see we can see these guys. It looks a little bit off to me. That maybe I want to make that guy just a little bit higher. So we can make some small adjustments. We can just double check that these guys are all looking okay. It's all looking, oh, that guy's slightly off. And then we can say apply. And now if we zoom it, here was the original one, right? But now we've shifted this guy, and we say, okay, look, let's sort of bring everything in line, right? So bring the photos in line with the coordinates for that white X. So we've done it for that first one. Let's go to the second one, and I'll zoom out here. I need to find that. Oh, looks like that white X is probably going to be over here, right? So we're going to kind of click. This is sort of taken obliquely, so we're going to go in the middle of that guy. We're going to scroll down to our next image. We're going to scroll out, and looks like the nearest one is in the corner here. So again, we're going to zoom in, find the middle of that white X. It's like about there. And then we're going to say apply. Fantastic. And then we can check some of these other ones. So, and you really want to spend time trying to make sure that and we want to apply these guys, that the work that you're doing is as locked in as is needed for the project that you're working on, right? And different projects cover different areas of space, but really you want to do as good a job as you can here. And you want to zoom in and go right in the middle there. And when you do that, it's going to just all of them apply. Fantastic. And so I'm going to just do the third one real quick. Same basic idea. You find the X, you zoom in, you hit it, and you're going to do that again for another one or two here. And let me see where this guy's associated with. So okay, so it's that one. So again, let's get nice in the middle here. A little distortion looks like we're getting. And same kind of a deal, right? You're going to go through all these guys, and on this so great. And on this last one, I just want to show you. We only had 4 points, and typically I'll want to do at least 6 to 12 to even 20 or 30 in some cases, depending on the area we're covering and the number of flights. So number 4 here, if we scroll out and find it, looks like it's there down in the corner. This one I'm actually going to use as a check. So I'm going to, and let me just finish the job here. I'll find this guy, and I'm going to click on it right in the middle there. Hit apply. It's very important that you hit apply. If you don't hit apply, the computer won't know what you've done, and it won't be able to incorporate that into its changes. And let's just keep looking. These guys are all looking pretty tight. Oh, that one's slightly off. All right, apply. And this one, I want to do an independent check of my differential GPS. And so I'm actually I double clicked on this guy, and I'm going to turn it into it's a little bit hard to see, but I'm going to make it a checkpoint. It's going to be a checkpoint. And what that means is, in my report that I generate, I will use the first 3 ground control points as the actual sort of tie points for incorporating my differential GPS data. But this 4th one will be left out of that. It will not be used, but it will be used as a check to sort of see, what types of errors were associated with what we just did. So now that I've got these ground control points in here, and I've gone through the process of applying the marks that I did, I want to make sure that the computer's able to incorporate this for additional runs. And so what I'm going to do now here is I'm going to actually go up to Process. I'm going to click on Reoptimize. And basically, it's going to run the thing again. And it will go much quicker than it did last time. But it will re-optimize the work which was done. Now, not just using the GPS information from the UAV itself, but using the GPS differential GPS information we collected when we created and we collected our data over those white X's. And so it's still re-optimizing, and it's telling me now if I want to take a look at the quality report from the menu, I can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to stop here, and then we're gonna move on.